I'm Neelam Mishra. Join me here to celebrate World Biofuel Day. As you can see on the screen, the topic of this video is extremely relevant not only for the career aspirants but also for the common man who use fossil fuels to power cars, two-wheelers and other automobiles every day. All of us these days are worried about unforeseen increase in petrol and diesel prices, severely straining the day-to-day life of people, particularly of developing economies like India. About 98% of the total fuel requirement in the road transportation sector in India is currently met by fossil fuels and the remaining 2% by biofuels. The demand of transportation fuels has been steadily rising, and the domestic crude oil is able to meet only 23% of the demand, while rest is fulfilled by imported crude oil. Moreover, a concern about global warming and climate change has stimulated the search for low carbon energy alternatives to fossil fuels. In context to this, biofuels are highlighted as carbon neutral energy that can replace present consumption of all fossil fuels when used productively. In one of my previous videos, I introduced you to the term biofuels and the different generations of biofuels. At present, biofuels based on current technologies seem to be expensive both to energy security and mitigation of climate change. In spite of that, it is high time for a necessary transformation from a petroleum-based fuel market to an economically viable and sustainable biofuel-based energy market. India, being a large agriculture-based economy, has huge potential of producing biofuels at a very competitive price. The growing demand and increased consumption have broadened the economic basis of biofuels, and this trend is forecast to continue with a further doubling expected to occur in the coming decade. In view of this wave of change for the promising and sustainable biofuel future, every year 10th of August is being celebrated as World Biofuel Day by Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas since 2015 to create awareness about the importance of non-fossil fuels as an alternative to conventional fossil fuels. This day honors the research experiments done by Sir Rudolf Diesel, who ran an engine with peanut oil in the year 1893. His experiments had predicted that vegetable oil is going to replace fossil fuels in the next century. To mark this occasion, I will mainly focus on India's national biofuel policy and the roadmap to ethanol blending program in this video. The two most commonly used liquid biofuels in use today are bioethanol and biodiesel. Ethanol is naturally produced by the fermentation of sugars by yeast or via petrochemical processes such as ethylene hydration, whereas biodiesel is produced by the process of trans-esterification of vegetable oils and animal fat. Bioethanol accounts for most of the world's biofuels that provide a valuable platform for advancement in hydrocarbon biofuels, also nicknamed as drop-in fuels, which can serve as petroleum substitutes in existing refineries, tanks, pipelines, pumps, vehicles, and smaller engines. Ethanol has a higher octane number than petrol, providing premium blending properties that cut down carbon monoxide and other smog-causing emissions, and therefore the engine can be operated with a high compression ratio without knocking. I guess you have an idea about octane number. Octane number simply describes the behavior of fuel in the engine during combustion. High octane number of ethanol increases the efficiency of the engine considerably. Hence, ethanol is considered as an efficient blending fuel. Blending of petrol with ethanol instead of using pure ethanol as transport fuel has another advantage, that immediate large-scale implementation can be done on the infrastructure of existing vehicles, including petrol pumps or fuel stations. With this overview about the strategic role of biofuels in alternative energy scenario, let's focus on the National Biofuel Policy and the roadmap to ethanol blending program. First national policy on biofuels was launched by Ministry of New and Renewable Energy in the year 2009 with the motive that blending of petrol and diesel with biofuels could save foreign exchange along with reduction in carbon emissions. However, it did not take off successfully due to a number of reasons like limited availability of biomass feedstock, constant failure to adopt the right pricing formula for biofuels, delayed procurement, and other procedural delays by state agencies. The question is, despite so many favorable factors, why is India struggling so hard to get its biofuel policy in a right manner? The hope lies in the new revised National Biofuel Policy approved in May 2018, setting the new agenda to mainstream biofuels and envisions a central role of biofuels in the transportation sector in coming decades. Critics of first generation biofuels, which are derived from edible food crops, argue that using food crops for fuel production increases food prices. This makes it more difficult for people to afford to eat healthily. This time, the approach to biofuels in 2018 policy is somewhat different to the current international approaches, and the thrust is being given to advanced biofuels such as second generation ethanol derived from non-edible feedstock or organic waste residues from agricultural farms, municipalities and industries, thus avoiding a conflict of fuel versus food security. The new policy allows production of ethanol from damaged food grains unfit for human consumption and the surplus quantities of food grains to ethanol based on the approval of National Biofuel Coordination Committee, thereby increasing the availability of ethanol blended petrol in the country. Furthermore, to incentivize advanced biofuel sector, Government of India has launched Jeevan Yojana to attract investment in this new sector. It is a tool to create funding to second generation bioethanol and refineries by allowing manufacturing projects. On the occasion of World Environment Day 2021, PM Modi released the roadmap for ethanol blending program in India. The theme for this year's event is promotion of biofuels for a better environment. Government of India has resolved to meet the target of 20% ethanol blending in petrol by 2025. The National Biofuel Policy 2018 had earlier set an indicative target of 20% blending of ethanol in petrol and 5% blending of biodiesel in diesel by 2030. At this point, I would like to tell you about the abbreviations used for blended fuels. This slide clearly explains the terminology used for common ethanol fuel mixtures with petrol. The E20 roadmap proposes the following milestones mentioned in these slides. Government of India has already released E20 notification directing oil companies to sell ethanol blended petrol with percentage of ethanol up to 20% and BIS specifications for higher ethanol blends E12 and E15. As the EBP rolls out in the country, vehicles need to be produced with rubberized parts, plastic components, and elastomers compatible with E20 and engines optimally designed for use of E20 fuel. Currently, two-wheeler and passenger vehicles are produced in the country designed optimally for E5 with rubber and plastic components compatible with E10 fuel. Their engine can be calibrated for E10 for better performance. The blending target of 20% ethanol with petrol by 2025 has the potential to change the bioenergy landscape in the country. Competitiveness of biofuels will improve with increasing crude oil prices. Policies are conducive, but we need to move swiftly towards technology neutrality and enforceable mandates. Concerted efforts are required along with whole value chain with transparently shared rewards. The success of ethanol blending will provide immense benefits to the country, such as saving of foreign exchange, energy security, reduction in current account deficit, lower carbon emissions, increasing farmers' income, employment generation, and so on. Increased ethanol blending with fossil fuels will also further strengthen India's resolve towards fulfilling commitments made at COP21, the UN Climate Change Conference held in France in 2015. Finally, let me briefly tell you the milestones achieved in aviation sector in India. On 27th August 2018, SpiceJet flew the country's first biofuel-powered aircraft with a blend of 75% air turbine fuel and 25% biojet fuel from Dehradun to Delhi. Compared to air turbine fuel, biojet fuel reduced carbon emission and enhanced fuel efficiency. By successfully operating this test flight, India has joined an elite group of countries, including US, Canada, and Australia, that are routinely operating biojet fuel-powered flights. Later on, in 2019, the Indian Air Force also used 10% blended biojet fuel to fly a military aircraft from Chandigarh Air Base on Republic Day. Summing up this discussion, I would say there are certainly no easy answers when it comes to the debate following fossil fuels and biofuels. People are becoming more and more aware of the possible drawbacks of using fossil fuels. Globally, there is a strong push towards environment-friendly and economically viable biofuels. The success of biofuel market will not only depend on the choice of technology but also on the soundness of the business model that ensures steady revenue stream. It streamlines the sale of biofuel to the utility and proposes suitable strategies to overcome barriers such as technological, financial, and institutional. This revenue will also help agriculture community and rural development, creating new job opportunities in the agriculture sector. In the next video, I will discuss in more detail the bioconversion technologies involved in the production of biofuels like ethanol and biodiesel. If you have any questions, I am happy to answer. Please write in the comment box. Thank you for watching and thank you for your kind attention.